Howdy, y'all. Welcome to episode 52 of Unfinished Business. I hope you're having a great week. And Trevor, I'm sorry about last week. I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. Okay. I hope you're having a better week, but not as good as me. Just remember that. All right. So this
he had a
week,
brain fart.
what?
No, go
we're good.
ahead,
We're good.
go
We're
ahead.
good.
You're
Oh,
good. No,
we're rolling.
I intended that to stay wrong. Tell us what we're doing this week, Tyler.
listen,
Was any of this English yet?
Yeah, we're working on it.
Corey's
Okay.
in the pizza sweats, bro.
all right.
He's
Can we
got
start?
them-
Can we start over? I'm not having.
No,
this
keep it
today.
right.
No. There's no start overs here.
There's no start over in the UFB off-season show, bro. We just go for it.
All
I'm
right.
gonna have
Listen,
another piece of pizza.
All right.
here's what we're gonna do. We're each gonna take a minute. We're gonna talk about the latest and greatest, or maybe not. We are going to let everyone have an opportunity to bring something to the floor if you want to talk about something, or it just sounds like I'm going to be bringing stuff to the floor tonight. We're going to have Taylor's House of Horrors, which is going to be the game, and then we'll wrap up, man. It'll be fun. That's what our off season is going to be like during this podcast. So, who wants to take their first minute? Matthew?
Hold on.
Sure. No, I'll take my first minute. Our
By the way,
mystery-
audio listeners, Corey's eating a whole pizza tonight while we
whole
do the
little Caesar
podcast.
pizza.
So
I'm about halfway done.
Here's my first minute. Are mystery boxes kind of getting mid? I'm thinking they might be getting mid because here's the thing. Your House of Discs companies can only pop out so many like this is the inside, this is the outside, it's coated in this and it's this kind of disc. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, if I get one, I'll be happy about it. But I feel like people used to be super hyped about mystery boxes, and I'm just not feeling it this year. Is this crazy take or no?
No, it's
feel like-
oversaturation.
Yeah, I feel like mystery boxes have always and will always be like a way to just move discs that ain't moving, and I feel like that's just becoming a worse kept secret over time. Like we're just getting rid of some stock that ain't moving.
Yeah, and I feel like specifically like the bigger mystery boxes, which is what a lot of people are running. Like, for instance, the Discmania one, everyone is getting a P2, everyone is getting an FD, like everyone is getting a Link. Everyone I'm seeing is just getting like these random, base plastic is as much as you could go there. But
I feel like the
agree.
most hyped ones have been Gyropalooza too, and I've heard at least we had our league finale last week, and I heard multiple people say that they were kind of disappointed in theirs, that they got multiple, like nothing outside of what you knew you were getting, nothing outside of like a 5-speed. They just got like 3 putters and 2 mids or something. They were kind of just like disappointed in the lineup they got. So I think obviously variety is what you're kind of looking for with a mystery box, so I can definitely see like getting one of those and be like, dang, I wanted to try some MVP drivers, and now I've just got like all of the lower half of the speed range from MVP or Axiom.
that happened to me with Discmania. So yeah, kind of doing. I will say what Discmania did last year was kind of cool. They had some special discs, the special plastics. It wasn't just a run of the mill stuff. So
Yeah.
I think Discmania will continue to do well. But so you guys know how much I love Discmania. So I think they'll be good.
I definitely think companies should like at least explain and hold to the fact that they're going to do like at least one driver, at least one fairway, at least one mid, at least one
Right.
putter.
Yeah. Like literally, I'm not kidding, and this is gonna sound like a glaze here. The best mystery box I saw was the ones Bedanza did, because he literally did a video where like
I was going to
here's
say
my
the
best
pros.
mid.
The pros
yeah.
putting it together, but they're expensive.
They are expensive. Bedanza's wasn't. Bedanza's was like $60 for like 7 discs.
Yeah,
He
I
was
feel
just
like
trying
I
to
kind
get
of
rid
put
of
that
stuff.
into a different category, a manufacturer.
I definitely do. Yeah. But I mean, I popped out like 3 discs off the bat that made my money 80 like immediately. But that
All
was
right,
just stuff
who else wants to take their minute?
Playing in the wind sucks. I'm gonna say it.
Bro,
with my
please
whole
squeak.
chest, bro. We had league finale last week, and I am not like, you guys know me by now, man. I played in Tennessee. That's where I grew up. I'm a boy of the woods. The courses we played, maybe 5 trees combined in play on these courses. We're in the middle of the open. We got 30-mile-per-hour gust winds, like 15-ish steady. I didn't know what to throw ever. I feel like
That's my
I
kind of
threw
golf
my
right there.
most overstable disc I had in my bag on every hole, and I walked up to a putt, and I cried a little bit. I legitimately gave up on a hole. I didn't actually finish. I gave up. and just took like a triple bogey. So it's the last hole on one of the local courses I film here, but it's like you can see the water tower in the background, and they've got like a tiny replica water tower as an elevated basket. Yeah. Not up to like PDGA specs or anything. It's completely legal, but it's kind of cool. But the basket is literally, I mean, like 12 feet in the air, and I had just a straight headwind. I literally was just throwing my putter up and catching it because there was like no way to angle the disc that high for the headwind not to just push it back at me. So I was like, yeah, whatever. I'll take like a 7 and just kind of move on.
But you did tell us you're in the championship. Is that true?
For fantasy football, I'm in the championship.
Oh my god!
For the league, I got the 24 tag. Even though UDisc replay came out today and outside,
you totally had me fooled.
My best finish was second. My average was 3.5, and I have the 24 tag. Never broke the 20s, man.
Nice.
Tough year.
Nice.
That is
I'm fraudulent. I said I was going to go to a ton of tag matches and how excited I was, and then I went to like 4. So I'm just. That's on me,
man.
2025 will be better. Me and my tombs out there missing every putt.
Heck yeah, baby.
That's how I feel about tournaments. I said I was going to, and then as soon as I hit 899, I was like, I don't want to go any higher. I'm not playing anymore.
This is my cap. I'm cutting myself off.
Yep. I want to be known as that guy.
No chance you're an 899 player either.
I'm not, but once I hit that, I was like, and then like that was it. Yeah. Man. I think the 899, it bumped me up to 899, but I think one of the rounds was 950.
Yeah.
So like, yeah. I think they Kristen Tatar'd me, and they were like, we're not gonna make you in the 900 yet. So I was like, I'm not playing your tournament. I went to Bomb Discs in Lexington, Kentucky, which is owned by my buddy Alex, and he gave me a PA5 in their brand new 400 Ultra Soft, which is literally it's so
ultra
good.
Soft.
This thing feels amazing. Feels amazing, Tyler. I'm not explaining anymore. He also gave me an H5.
I'll take your word for it.
This is not a new plastic. It's just their regular 400. But this thing is possibly going in the bag as a replacement for the Slipstream because I can't find any other. My buddy Griffin has one Slipstream, but I need to find a specific disc that he wants so I could trade him, which is the old ESP, like the original ESP, the solid color, like softer ESP, Comet, I think.
Oh wow!
Oh, that's a tough find.
Specific, man.
Yeah. Well, he throws. Comet's the one that Michael Johansson has, right? Okay, yeah. It's a
or Chandler
Comet
Kramer through that one. Not Kramer, gosh. Chandler Fry.
Yeah. So he wants an old ESP, which I live in like Scraff country, so I could find old ESP. I just don't know if I could find a Comet.
Yeah.
But once I do, I'll have another Slipstream, which is cool. And then I played Taylor, what was that course that we were talking about? Charlie
Ventnor.
Yeah, Charlie Ventnor is an awesome course out here near Louisville. And I found a Glow Insanity with no ink at all.
You throw it?
It was just on the edge of the woods. I threw it today in that video that I was talking about that I filmed. Just the dumbest video ever. And it did nothing. It didn't benefit the video at all. You could barely even tell I threw it in the video because the video is that stupid.
How stable is that?
Yeah.
It's pretty straight.
Okay, so
I think it's 9.5 minus 2 1.5 or something like that.
Yeah, the normal Insanities are like flip up and get a little turn, but the Glows just turn into just a like ridiculously straight flyer. It's one of the biggest
this is straight.
Yeah, but people will just buy Glow Insanities for a straight flyer instead of finding another MVP disc that does that because it's easier.
Yeah, well, here I threw it on forehand into a tree, and then I threw it on backhand into the ground. So,
well, pretty straight then. You saw a good flight.
Yeah,
out of it, so.
Yeah, it went straight for part of that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
All right, Tyler, your minute.
Well, listen, really, it's just meant to be. You can talk whatever you want for 60 seconds. I just want to say that disc golf content has gotten so boring for me.
It's
like,
bad.
There's nothing good to watch. Like, I really don't want to come on here and just blast certain people, but I've certainly.
I can take it.
No, I'll always watch your guys' stuff, but there's some people where it's the same old stuff. Like you're going out reviewing disc, you're pulling a pro to play with you, and you're just going out and throwing a disc. It's not exciting anymore. I'm just really disappointed that there's nothing like exciting. Like honestly, the only thing that I enjoy is the unboxing videos that Bedanza does. I don't know why that excites me, but I like watching those. And I like doing disc reviews. Like, show me a new disc that comes out. Let me see how it flies, and that's about it. But like, don't go out and play like 9 holes
with the disc.
Yeah. I don't want to see 9 holes with the disc because I'm going to figure out what it does pretty quickly. Or at least don't make it like a 15-minute video of you doing something with that disc. Like,
You didn't have to say that.
why?
Because we were talking earlier about me doing the review for the PA5, and I was like, "It's 6 minutes," and you're like, "Yeah, I could deal with that."
Yeah,
But you have to
exactly.
squeeze in if it's 15 minutes. Don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, like again, like I said something in our chat. I was like 12 minutes max on a video. Like I feel like I'm obligated to finish a 12-minute video if I started it. So
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. But
I
like,
feel like my average video length is like somewhere between 6 and 12. Like 12 is kind of long for me, and my most recent one was almost 20 minutes. And like even editing that, I was like, this is too long. I don't like this.
like I don't even know what flow I like with watching like disc golf. Like, is it fast paced? Is it actually more storytelling? I will say probably the most entertaining that feels like you haven't watched very long and you could end up watching something for 20 minutes is probably Jay Millie's stuff, right? He does good job storytelling. So something like that style might be decent. It might be good.
I think it's not one single speed. Like it's got to flow like up and down. It's got to have fast parts. It's got to have slow parts.
There need to be like sub stories within the story.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that's like, it has to be more thought out. So, anyways, I just wanted to bring that up and talk about that for a minute.
I think I'm on your side though. I think I like Banana Froth better than Bedanza's main channel.
Yep.
I will
all
say-
right. So I'll admit that I don't care for Bedanza's main channel. I only follow his Froth Golf, whatever, Banana Froth channel.
I will say for me personally, and I am a nobody, I had a distinct shift in the past year. I've talked about it on here of like not wanting to really do content anymore, of basically me trying to represent something or be something. And I've shifted to just, I'm going to be an idiot and be myself on the internet. And it's way more fun to be myself on the internet. And I feel like that's the distinction in those two channels. It's just much more natural and fun to not like be actively gears turning, thinking like, well, how does that sound? Oh, should I say this about it? Just like, how does that sound? And like try to instead of letting shit happen, brother.
I almost want to put that new video that I told you guys about, where I just completely, it is the stupidest video I have ever done. I kind of want to unlist it so I could just send it to you guys so you can watch it now.
Bro. I'll watch it right now.
Because it is ridiculous.
Yeah, can't wait. Okay, so I feel like we do have to talk about a couple different things that have been in the news lately. So what's the deal with this new tour?
What's the deal?
Why don't
That's
you tell
coming
us, Tyler? Because it's a little confusing. I'm hearing some different reports that people can play it, people can't play it. What's the lowdown here?
Okay, so I listened to Staggered Stance today, and I listened to a little bit of Steve Dodge, all of Jeff Spring, and all of Will Schustrick, kind of talk about their stuff. But it seems like they're going to have this tour. I still haven't watched GK Pro's video announcing and talking about this. So
I mean GT?
is that what it is? Oh, Go Throw, whatever.
Yeah, it's Go Throw now.
Go Throw. So I don't know the details that they shared, but I've heard through all of the other internet is they're going to have a tour that have stops along the way to the next events. And that's all I really know. It's not going to conflict with the current Pro Tour. Obviously, we've heard stuff out there about the Pro Tour trying to say that if they have an event, you can't go do another paid event essentially, or any sort of like monetization event during that event if you're a card holder. Now they said that doesn't go into effect this year. So it seems like everyone was pretty positive about
Did they say the words this year or 2025?
2025.
Okay, because this year ends in like
Yes.
Gotcha.
2 weeks, and they're like, ha ha.
No, it was 2025. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, does anyone have any thoughts about the tour? Because it's come out since our last pod, so we might as well bring it up. Go ahead, Tete.
I have thoughts. I will say, all I've watched is the announcement. So like, Luke Humphreys in front of get in front of a camera, read this script about that, and the fact that it's overlaid into their newest tournament coverage that is then using all of the old assets and logos makes this feel so rushed to me. Like the logos look terrible. Here's our old branding that we're putting out in a brand new video that's going to get a ton of views because it's the off season, but it's a tournament. But oh, hey, by the way, we're switching everything real quick just to let you guys know at the beginning of the video. I think it's very not well thought out. I think the fact that the only ticket prices that you can get or like see to like sign up to go see one of these events is at Eagles Crossing is the writing on the wall that this is another just skins match disaster. This is very poorly thought out, very poorly put together. All of that said, I think it's good for disc golf to have oh, sorry, I just coughed. To have competition to the Pro Tour. I was like choking on my but just to have competition in general for the Pro Tour. I don't buy anything of Jeff Spring saying like, oh, we're all best friends, this is between our tour stops and all our pros are going to go to this other tour and make them money. Everything is all great until it's not, and then the Pro Tour can easily say you're going to play on our tour, or if you want to play somewhere else, you're not going to play here, and it's going to be very easy for them to shut something like that down. So I don't know, all in all, I think it's good. I'm excited to see what happens, but I don't think it's going to come to fruition in some major way. This is the brand new tour that's taking over disc golf. I've also heard negative things from people like saying that this is going to be confusing, like we shouldn't have two tours. When I started watching disc golf, there was the Pro Tour just started, the National Tour from PDGA, and the World Tour, and I didn't give a single F what tour it was on. I just wanted to watch cool tournaments on YouTube at cool courses. Yeah. So if they get cool courses and they have cool pros, I don't really care, as long as it's presented and packaged in like a very viewable way. I wish that they would have like take some more consideration into things people are saying that the Pro Tour should be doing that they're not doing, and like let's make it free to go watch the tournaments. Right. Let's make it super cheap to get tickets to like see this thing. Like I did look at like how much it costs to go to the one at Eagles Crossing. It's pretty pricey. Like it's not cheap to go to Eagles Crossing in the middle of nowhere. Like at the end of the day, I think whatever his name is, the like billionaire guy that put in Eagles Crossing is still really mad that the Pro Tour won't go there because it's in the middle of nowhere, and just tried to figure out how he can get around that or spite the Pro Tour. I genuinely think like that's where this started.
If he's that wealthy, why doesn't he just put in a hotel?
I don't think he's that wealthy.
A town. Build your own town. Yeah. And they will come.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm in the same boat. I mean, like it's exciting. And the thing is, you know, with anytime you have competition between two big groups like this, or what could be two big groups, we just get good things out of it. You know, like GK's got to make a better product. Pro Tours hopefully got to make a better product. They're trying to compete. They're keeping it friendly. It's not friendly. We are only getting positives out of this until they, you know, the Pro Tour says, okay, we're done with you. Bye-bye. And gets rid of them. But
I'm just like, why are they starting this tour? Like, what is the point of starting it? That's what I would like to know. Like, is it actually going to bring in more viewership? Like, I don't know. I just don't know what the point is. Like, is it going to be something different? Are you trying to push the sport, so you're just trying to provide extra? I don't know. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's what I think too. It would be different in my mind if it was more supplementally branded, where like we're talking about all these issues of like there's mid-range, you know, your mid-tour players are not wanting to tour anymore. The money's not there to support them. So if this was more of like, hey, stay on tour, come to our events, big pros probably won't come here. It's almost like a better Q series that's run by someone else. That makes a lot of sense to me, but that's not how it's being advertised. It's more like, hey, this is still the Gannons, the Rickies, and Pauls are going to come here and win everything, and it's just a different package. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, and as we've talked about, we've said sure, like some of the top pros will come to like the first event or the first couple events, but it's not going to continue over time, at least in my opinion.
I
right?
think if a new tour really wants to succeed, it needs to do things wildly different from the current pro tour that people want to change. So like have smaller baskets, go play on marksman baskets and see what happens. Make it free to come, make it free to show up and see what happens. Like
Bowlers
essentially
only.
what they're doing. They're like put in weird rules like OB standstills or like hazards or do something more innovative than just we're doing the same thing. We're calling it something else. Come support this instead of what you already have that we've built for the past 15 years.
It needs to become an anomaly so people have to go so they see what happens.
Or like you said about Live, like this is
tour?
the team-based tour.
Right, exactly. I would be like Live. Like, is this that if they made this version of Live Golf for disc golf? Like, I think that'd be awesome. Like, I definitely would be watching.
Yeah, to Scott's point in the chat, Scott said if payouts $50K at every event, like rumored pros will show up. I agree until all the pros show up, and then Jeff Spring says, "Okay, we're not going to do that anymore. Like, if you want to be a tour card holder, you can only play at our events, and then we'll see." And maybe that's the breaking point that's good. Maybe then you have like this kind of tour where people are
what if they only paid out like the top like 5 people? Yeah. That's what they need. And then like the winner will get like $30K or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what they need to do.
The second it becomes a real competition, Pro Tour is not going to hang around for that.
And I have a strong feeling that whole like we're not going to do anything about this in 2025 means they get to choose the schedule for 2026. They could either load it with actual events, or they consider Silver and Q Series part of a tour card, and they're just going to squeeze them out. I think this year is going to be a test for the Pro Tour to be like, is this actually a threat, or do we even care?
Yeah, it's like everybody's best friends until they're not instantly, right? It's like the Pro Tour like cutting Smashbox for doing the live service. I think similar to that situation, the one thing that disc golf is weird in that GK Pro has in their corner is disc golf is not like this faceless media company like this is the Live Tour, this is the PGA Tour. Like people know the people that run GK Pro and like know Luke Humphreys and like them. So similarly to like when Steve Dodge tried to cut Smashbox and everybody freaked out because people like Terry and Johnny, I think that's one thing that's strange in disc golf that they have going for them. There will be people that are like, no, I like the people behind GK Pro and OTB better, so I'm going to support that tour instead.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I just had a thought while we were sitting here talking, like, what if they did it so it was like, you played 36 holes on Saturday. You played 36 holes on Sunday. I know that's a lot of disc golf, but like it's disc golf. Like I could go out and play 36 holes of disc golf
like
and like
a slice of pizza every hole.
Yeah,
true. But like no. So hear this out. So you played 2 days, 30, or you can play 36 holes in one day and then 18 the next day. And then what it is like you are only paying like the top 5 people, and there's a huge payout at the top. Like if you're in like 20th place and you don't want to play because you're like, well, there's no chance of me getting top 5, like you can leave. Like you have the choice of like dropping out. And what that would help is if they are doing post produce, you're not getting like 4, 5, 6 groups. You're just getting maybe 2 groups. So it doesn't even matter in the end if those other people drop out. Like for your, in my opinion, for your viewership, because you're just filming the top 2 groups anyways, which are the top 8 players at the time. So like something like that where like there's really, because what, and my thing is if I'm in like 12th place and I know the top 5's getting paid, you're playing balls to the wall, going for everything. And I feel like that's super entertaining to watch. So if that was the case, like guys that are like in 8th place or, 6 through 8 on that final card, it'll be entertaining to watch to see if they play like ultra aggressive. Like, can you imagine if Simon played and on the last day he's in 6th place or something like that? Like that would be some viewership because he's going to go balls to the wall.
Bro, pop out some slightly shorter courses, like mid-style courses, and watch some crazy stuff happen. Like
Scott just put in the chat, the rumor is that it would be doubles. I was literally just about to ask you guys if it was doubles and they did that, who are you putting money on as the best doubles in disc golf?
I mean, you just take the best golfer in the world, which is Gannon right now. So
and put
or I would say Macbeth and AB with Lunas.
Yeah,
I was going to say the Robinsons. They got the brother.
The Robinsons are goated. Gavin, maybe Gavin's got a nasty little forehand on him.
There would have to be some stipulations about how high your rating combined it would be. Like it has to be like combined this, number or lower.
Say no rules get better.
Ooh,
I like
That's a
Mac's
you- that's a
idea.
you
What about
problem, bro?
what about a 4-round event with a cut after every round?
yeah, I'm cool with that too.
Really
I had that same thought. Like, how do
Also,
you?
is this free for the players?
Is
or
there
is there
a
a,
buy-in?
is there a fee?
I don't know. Yeah, if there's like an entry fee.
Dude,
Yeah.
we should just start our own tour and just go for it.
Do it. Double store.
I've been
We
waiting
got
to
better graphics.
I've been waiting to
That is
invest
a
in
fact.
something.
We do have
maybe,
better graphics confirmed.
maybe we start like, I mean, Taylor would have to come up here and get involved, but like a Mid-Atlantic tour, and we just get some of the people to. I don't know.
I was cooking.
Here's
right
what
now.
we do.
Tyler's
We
cooking
build a
right
property.
Dude,
Cory wants to design a
entrepreneur
course
brain
more
is
than
going.
anything in his entire life. So we get Cory to design the course. We get some acres down here. Land's cheap in Alabama, boys. Come through.
Yeah.
now. That's true.
Well, is there? I'm trying to think what else has happened in the last week that I should bring up, because that was obviously the hottest topic. Oh, maybe I'll save it for later.
Okay. Okay.
There it is.
Is Ken confirmed Discraft yet or no?
We don't have any more
Nothing
details.
official.
Yeah.
So that was just all a rumor.
Yeah, it was all. But I mean,
Yeah, it's all sources and speculation.
Well, I mean, that was at least fun to talk about.
But I mean, it is
Would
on
it-
like Ultiworld, like so. It's like very reputable sources slash
Yeah.
speculation.
They're risking
Nothing
it all right now. Did we talk about Shoestrick last week? Yeah, we did.
Mhm.
Yeah, we did.
I think
Okay.
that's a good bit of the disc golf news. I feel like we're about to enter the let's see what every single player does in the
Yeah,
next
I think
month.
once we transition to 25, it'll be from
Yeah.
men's.
Usually some people start announcing like right now if they are leaving. So it'll be interesting to see if anyone announce who's leaving, because it sounds like the disc golf world is taking a big hit with the way the economy's been this last year. So not a lot of people getting money. I'll talk about something with that later, but
I have a question to ponder
let's do it.
randomly. This
Let's
just came into
ponder.
my mind. If you were,
Hold on one sec. We might as well just move right on into our next section, which is the floor is yours.
Oh, yeah, that's
So
a
we
great
went
idea.
over the disc golf news pretty much, which that was the biggest one. And so Taylor, the floor is yours.
floor is mine. I just randomly popped into my brain. Talk as long or as little as you want about it. If you were a disc golf manufacturer today, December 18th at 8:15 p.m. Central Time, what disc would you make?
I'd be
What
closed.
new product would you come out with right now? If you had to make a disc, what are the flight numbers? What does the market need? Right?
Am I crazy to say it? I don't know if the market really needs anything.
I was about to say that.
I think the market, what you have to do now as a manufacturer, there is every like most big manufacturers have some disc to fit what you need, or that will fit if you can find the right run. At this point, you have to do what Latitude is pushing, which is literally just like, how high quality can we
How
run our
good can we
plastic?
make?
Yeah. I mean, like to the point that like the Royal line, they got to remake the molds to even work with the plastic. That's another level. And they're like, oh, we actually can't eat the way the plastic's made. We can't even make it lightweight. They made the first lightweight Graces this like recently because they just literally couldn't because of the way the plastic is. I think you
that
gotta
is
push that
my
plastic
opinion.
hard.
That's my opinion right there, is getting more lighter weight stuff in the market and trying to push that on amateurs. That's where I'm at. But
Yeah.
Mac with the 13.7 minus 5.5.
that's kind of crazy.
That's a Catano.
That's something. I'll tell you what.
All right. Well, I got a bunch of things I want to bring up and talk about.
What about a glove?
Disc golf glove?
I've thought
What
about
about a
buying a
glove?
friction glove. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, they have the
Yeah.
friction gloves. I saw someone like practicing wearing a friction glove, like a pro, who was like working in the net wearing a friction glove for some
I've
reason.
seen
I didn't know
Ezra
if
do
friction
that
glove was something-
because he like is often ripping his hand. So
Or what about like, you know how naturally your hand is like easier to move if it's like up and down,
Yeah.
but when you hold a disc, most of the time you're kind of like cocked weird.
Or-
What if
or in
there
the
was a
mouth.
glove that held the disc for you?
wait, I was literally gonna say, Corey, what if we just index and thumb just put 2 magnets in? Just
Well, yeah, that's
magnetize.
true. But I'm thinking like, what if there was something that could like
Prevent air bounce.
hold the glove for or hold the disc for you like in the glove to where all you have to do is this and it naturally like releases for you.
That's a crack. That's not. Yeah, that's maybe not as much a disc manufacturing, but
Well, if you think about it like this, there's
And that's
training
actually
aid, there's training aids in golf where they have that kind of grip. So that could be like a training aid, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it could. I don't. That would actually be a really good idea. I think, but I don't think you should be able to use that to throw a disc in like a tournament or something that's sanctioned or something like that.
Yeah. I also don't think we should be able to use rangefinders, but you know,
That's
Do you guys think that rangefinders are a phase, or you think they're here to stay? Because I won't lie, when they came
Here to
out,
stay.
I was like, "This is so sick," and bought a rangefinder, and I used it 4 times, and it stayed in my car ever since. Unless I'm like specifically doing field work, like
yeah,
never
it's really
think
nice.
about that.
It's
thing.
really nice for field work, but that's.
I mean, the
I'm never-
distances in disc golf aren't as like varied as they are in like golf. Like golf, it's like 500 yards, right? It's crazy, 1,500 feet. And disc golf, you're limited to max maybe like 1,000 feet, on the course. So I would use it every single time because if I have UDisc open on my phone, I will look down to see like the exact distance because in golf, when you're doing like pitch shots, like, and you have to take like a half swing, quarter swing, 3/4 swing. I have that drilled in my mind for like, okay, 3/4 swing goes 70 yards with this club, half swing goes 50 yards with this club. So I try to do the same thing with disc a little bit.
are
with
you
like,
doing
okay,
that with disc golf though?
I was gonna say, I feel like in disc golf-
I am doing that with half swings and full swings. Like I know how far like my slower
And
swings
like,
go.
do you not know which one to do?
I
If you're
generally do, but I mean, it's just I like being more precise. So if I will look at UDisc if I have UDisc open to see how far I am GPS wise to the basket.
I feel like the big difference between golf and disc golf in that is like in golf, I think your average player has to think more about how far away they are from the hole. Where in disc golf, it's like if, like you said, Tyler, if your max hole is like 1,000 feet, that's like, okay, I'm throwing really hard, like 2 or 3 times, right, and then I got to figure something out. Like the distance requirement, or I guess the average player distance is lowered, where it's just mentally, it's probably just like, okay, this is either a full power driver fairway mid putter, and I can kind of mentally figure that out. There's a less like finesse, I think, in that sense.
The slower the disc, obviously, you got to be more in tune. Like one of the things that I've been working on is my putter, like straight putter, like how hard and what kind of angle do I need to throw it on to get it to a certain distance? Like how floaty does it get? Like I could take out a Cap Raptor and easily just kind of throw it at the basket and know as soon as it loses speed, it'll die at the basket. But when I need to throw like a backhand, like straight putter shot that has to drop at a certain speed, that's something I struggle with. So like I try to figure out how far my reach back is with those, so I know how what the distance is, and then I'll measure it out. And anyways, that's something I've developed from golf world to disc golf, but I don't think other people do it because maybe they don't realize that's what you do in golf with like.
Is your reach back getting shorter, or is it just the speed?
My reach back is getting shorter when I'm within like 150 feet of the basket. Yeah.
Okay.
Or even 200. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to do that. Now I am working on it just being slower. But I mean, I still do it for like like 100 feet. It's not quite like a jump putt, but it's not a throw. It's like a weird little half rotational putt. That's where it's a really different swing plane. But
Brayson's got a break point in the chat too. I buy tools all the time. They sit in my garage. Is it the tool's fault or mine? Yeah, that's definitely true.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is like, what if people have a depth perception problem? Well, I guess they wouldn't be very good at disc golf. Never mind, because putting would be horrendous. So that was a bad thought. Hey, listen, I was thinking it and I was like, I'm just gonna say this as I think it, and then I was like, nope, not a good idea.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Okay. I have a couple things I want to bring up.
Yep.
So when I listened to Jeff Spring on the Staggered Stance podcast, he talked about specifically that they work with some players for financial assistance to certain players to make it on tour. Just kind of curious, who do you think, maybe not who's involved with that, but like, what do you think the tour is doing to assist some of these players? Just kind of curious.
I'm gonna tell you right now, my only reaction to that is if I was an employee that got laid off by the Pro Tour and I hear that, I am seething right now, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
So why?
I just feel like as a player, you have so much more opportunity to find means to do that elsewhere versus if I am an employee of the Pro Tour and you're telling me that I could not be kept on at my position because you could not afford to keep me, but you are supplementing player income to keep them on the road and on the tour, that would definitely leave a bitter taste in my mouth. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the same time, I think I could understand that, like, you know, the right player is worth some kind of money to keep them there and keep them playing. But what player that people like or is popular enough isn't doing well at some events or isn't doing well outside
enough
of that?
to like stay on tour?
Right, exactly. Like, yeah, we're not like, oh, Gannon Burr is going to need some financial assistance this year, guys, to keep him on, and he's a big name.
Who has the draw to like be that important to draw eyeballs to the tour when obviously if they're playing that poorly are not being filmed? Like they're not.
Yeah.
Is it like Barsby or like Conrad or like those type of players who have been around for a while?
I would say Barsby or like people who've been around for a while and were really, really good at one point, like that would maybe, but that's more of like the handshake agreements that exist in disc golf. Well, I don't want Barsby to have to retire. Why don't we just give him a couple $100 a month? You know?
But I mean, I guess my mind is like, what is keeping Barsby on tour doing for the Pro Tour that more so than keeping an employee on your staff that is every day contributing to your organization?
That's what I'm saying. I think it would have to be something like, it would just have to be someone they want to keep on because they like seeing that person around. Not that it is really helping them. Because if like I said, if the person was popular enough, they would have other means that it wouldn't be an issue.
Is it actually paying them, or is it just allowing them to not pay their entry fees?
That's what was going to be like my next question is like, what financial assistance like are they giving to some players? Like, what is that? And I'm very like, he said that in the interview, and like if I was there, like, or if I was in having an opportunity to say something to him, I would have circled that immediately and be like, all right, when I get a chance, I'm asking like, what kind of financial assistance are you talking about? None of them went back and like batted an eyelash to that. And I was like, I caught that immediately and I haven't heard anyone talk about it. And I'm very curious because like, is that something that other players actually know? Like,
yeah, I'm curious how well known that is. Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of surprised that hasn't blown up in some sort of like or something of being like, can we get some more details here on like how we're supplementing some people? Because I think I care less if it's like, hey, you don't have to pay parking this year. Like, hey, you don't have to like pay an entry fee at this event kind of thing. Like if that's what's keeping you from like week to week going. I'm not going to go that off topic. Never mind.
Because honestly, it could like, there's a huge difference between, hey, I'm going to throw you a couple $100 so you can get to the next place, or I was thinking about going out to Ledgestone, but I don't think I can afford the entry fee. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I got you. Now, that's a huge difference.
Exactly. And like, I'm going to say something and I'm going to preface this and say, I know what Taylor said a minute ago about it's an opportunity. It's not like, you have to be there, but Max saying like it's unfair either way. Well, fair is not always equal, right? We see that in schools, like kids who can't afford, or they're low income, can't afford to have lunch. Like they get free lunch at school, at least in Maryland, you can, if you apply for it and you meet the requirements. You know, maybe there's some sort of agreement somewhere written somewhere where it's saying, if you're struggling or where the case may be, you can come speak to somebody and they can work something out with not letting them pay certain things along the way. And, you know, if I'm doing okay and someone says, hey, you know, we're going to save you $150 a week with something, I don't know if I'm getting upset personally about it. My mindset is more better players at an event will draw more people to it, which gives me more opportunity to interact with fans and maybe make more money. Like that's what I'm thinking. Like I don't personally care about what someone else's situation. To me, with I don't know how to articulate that. But anyways, you guys get what I'm saying.
No, it's similar. That kind of brings in what I was going to say. Ultiworld, or the Upshot podcast by Ultiworld, recently did a pretty long interview with Trevin Crow, who's an MVP sponsored, kind of just to get his perspective on like the grind of the tour. Like talk to somebody that cashes, you know, once every couple of events. Obviously, he's playing pretty week to week, like what that actually looks like. It was really interesting. I was going to say just applause and shout out to Simon Lizotte, because I think a lot of people become a bigger fan of his after listening to that interview, because he does a lot for like the MVP team of like, he'll get an Airbnb and let people stay in it, like park their RV outside and just kind of, they pay a little bit, but obviously since they're in their RV, you're just kind of using it. He doesn't charge them that much. He puts it all together and organizes it, which is a great move by him. Something he doesn't have to do that helps a lot of people kind of continue to live that dream of chasing disc golf as a profession. So just shout out to Simon. But the reality is, I think the weird thing for me is I can't think of a player that's that important to keep around that is struggling that hard to stay on tour.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I can't, like, there's just, I don't know who they are, but yeah, I can't think of one either. And that's kind of what I've been sitting here doing, is just like racking my brain, like who is important? And that's why I'm kind of thinking like it has to be some family friend, or you know, hey, this guy was back here when we started this thing, yada yada yada, that kind of deal.
Yeah.
But
I just wish we knew more clarification of financial assistance. So hopefully that gets brought up by somebody in the future. You know, maybe I'll email Jeff Spring and be like, yo, you want to come on our podcast and just see what happens? Probably will get nothing back, but
maybe we can try.
Worth a gamble. Worth a gamble.
Yeah. Or I'll shoot something to Brody and be like, Brody, you should bring this up.
Yeah, you should talk about this.
Yeah, because this is very interesting. So, all right. My hot topic or hot take that I wanted to bring to the table tonight is this. Okay. I'm going to preface this before I say my take. Okay. When I was thinking about how to make the tour more successful with the way it is right now, what makes watching disc golf exciting as a pro or at a pro level? Just curious. What makes it exciting for you guys?
Fireworks.
Okay.
Slip and slide, maybe.
Yeah.
No, I think competition. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
For me specifically, I would say seeing disc golf played in a way that is unachievable for me personally.
Okay. So for me, I think about like when, like I could go see really good quality play, but I also want to be a part of something, right? So when you see disc golf, what were the most exciting events to either watch live, watch post-produce, or be there in person? And it was the events taking place where there was thousands and thousands of people, right? So I'm thinking about all of the events in Europe, essentially, that were like the European Open and the one right after that. There was a ton of presence. And this year, we're going to Finland for the World Championship, which I think they're going to sell out every ticket like as soon as possible. And so I've been thinking, would the Pro Tour be more successful if we were full-time in Europe than being in the United States? Mainly because, one, there's not as many like pro sports over there that have kind of taken over the market as they have in the United States. So there's opportunity over there for that. But also, like, when you look at Kristen Tatar and a couple of these other people, like they are pulling in sponsors over in their countries where they're seen as a bigger like athletic icons. So I'm wondering, would the tour be more successful or allow the players to achieve more money and enjoy disc golf more if their full-time tour was over in Europe? Thoughts?
I don't think so. I think part of it goes back to what we were saying when we were redesigning the tour. We need to put it in larger cities.
Mm-hmm.
We got to stop going to these places where you fly in and then you drive 2 hours, because that's not going to get people. And also, there's not that many people that live around those areas in the first place. So it's not like, hey, I live near Detroit, I could drive 20 minutes and go see this crazy event, which Milford isn't that far from there, and that's where Toboggan is. But either way, there's a lot of these places that it's like, yeah, the next big town is an hour and a half away. So how many people are actually going to make that trip?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think here's what we're seeing. Oh, go ahead, Taylor.
I was just going to say, I think not right now, but it will be in 5 years, 5 to 10 years. I think it will be
all
more
Europe
successful in Europe. I don't think it'll be all Europe, but I think disc golf will be more successful in Europe. I think Europe cares more about innovating and producing better quality courses, broadcast, everything. I think the US based tour and what we do is way too complacent on like what we have been doing works. We're the tour of disc golf. I think the thing holding it back previously and still today is that the majority of disc golfers live in America. Right. So like,
and that's the obvious elephant in the room. That's
bred the best talent to be Americans. That's bred the highest payouts to be in America. I think that every time you talk about a European event, everyone says like how into disc golf kids are. Like the next generation is like, disc golf is huge in like Finland, Norway, those countries. So I think give it like 10 years and it's going to be, if not 50-50, more European based, I would say.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like, for me, it's about how do we bring more value and more money to the sport. I think that's more capable in Europe than it is in the United States. There's too many things that compete with disc golf in the United States. Yeah. Now, theoretically, I'm going to say theoretically, I don't even think that could really work to have just a tour full time in Europe, right? I don't think this is like actually real, but I just was thinking there's just more opportunity over in Europe to make more money. And like people would have to spend so much money to live over there and travel all the time. It wouldn't be reasonable for a lot of the American players, which I know a lot of people I've actually talked to about this have said, well, now you know what it's like for the European players to come over to the United States. Yes. But, yeah, anyways, it's just a thought I had where what can we do to grow the sport more than where it is right now? Or is this just where we're at and it's going to take really slow to grow it at this point in time, you know?
I think if anything, disc golf might regress, honestly. And I hate to be a doomer, but like,
right.
Is it not weird to anybody else that the huge sponsorship we got last year in the chess.com Invitational is now the Supreme Flight Open, sponsored by a company that the person who put the course in owns? Like, you didn't think they wanted to re-up with chess.com at all? I have a feeling that didn't go exactly, maybe not how they thought it would, because they knew they weren't going to make a lot of money, but maybe even worse than they thought.
I don't think that's it at all. I don't think it has anything to do with chess. I think it has to do with, oh, wait, we can just use the advertisement, the free advertisement for this tournament that we're sponsoring anyway. I don't think it has anything to do with chess.
I would still want some money from chess.com if they were going to pony that up for the prize pool.
I would. My question would be like, if you're someone who's advertising, like,
is that a tax write-off?
Did you make any money back?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
If that's the case, then I can totally see that.
Yeah, Paul's like, we'll totally get $500K of our money to sponsor this event.
Get Will Schustrick on the phone. Let's ask him all these Prodigy sponsored events. Is that our tax write-off? Anyway, sorry, Matt. Keep going. No,
I just like advertising companies have some metrics that says like, hey, based on how much we gave this place and the clicks, this is what we made off of it. Even though it's not a perfect science. Like, my question is, of everyone who's advertised through disc golf, how many come back the next year? There's a couple, right? Gillette comes back pretty regularly.
Barbasol.
Barbasol.
Some respect on him.
Sorry,
LL
my
Bean
bad.
signed a multi-year.
LL Bean, that as well.
They didn't come back.
What else?
They just did Worlds 1 year, and then who did
Yeah,
Worlds
whatever
this
happened with
year?
that? I thought Jeff Spring said they were signed in something, but
Yeah, I thought they were too. But someone else sponsored Worlds this year. I don't remember who it was. Was it Barbasol? Was it
Unfinished
Barbasol
business.
again?
Yeah, you have beat it. Tax drafts go crazy. But who else came back?
I don't know.
I can't think of anyone.
You know,
I can't think of that many companies in the first place.
I'm in shambles.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That, and we have a small, there's a small sample size of this, but like, if they're not coming back, there's some
Reason for that.
they'll pay $50 million for a 30-second Super Bowl ad.
Yeah.
So there's some reason. I would agree with Taylor. I would not be surprised if disc golf has a little bit of regression. Now I wouldn't, the Europe issue, I think both people are right here. Corey's like, hey, if we put these in places where it's easy to get there and a lot of people live here, you solve a lot of the problems, I think. But you can compare that immediately to something like, Deglow and like any other random event in the middle of nowhere, or
Yeah.
events close to, like, we can already do the comparison if we had the number of tickets sold to say, hey, what's the difference here? The thing in Europe, or the thing that I seem to see it in Europe, is you're treated as a professional athlete if you are a disc golfer in Europe.
They
That
also
does
do
not
very cheap tickets / free entry.
They also do very cheap tickets and those kind of things. That does not happen in the United States. You are not it doesn't, at least not in the same way. Does it seem, you're never going to walk into a Best Buy and see disc golf playing on their TVs, but people post all the time, hey, I was in Finland, and every TV has a round of Kristen Tatar playing disc golf on it or something like that. So
You are at my local Best Buy.
I think that's part of her
found it.
contract.
Yeah.
Huh?
I think. What was I gonna say, dude? I don't know. I saw Mac put something in the chat, and I immediately just blanked.
Dang it.
Hey,
man.
if you're watching us afterward, you could come join us live at 8:45 on Wednesday nights. A lot of folks chatting it up as we were talking.
Oh,
And-
I remember what I was gonna say. I would love to see the numbers with what they did in Europe last year and what they did in the United States, and see how comparable it is to like a month span of regular events to a month span of European events, and see what the money's like, because it is a business, right? So I feel like if we're making more money in Europe, we should spend maybe another month in Europe, maybe spend 2 months in Europe, and maybe slowly progress to that amount. So yeah, I don't know, just something I thought about. There was another thing I wanted to bring to the floor, but I don't remember what it was, and I was trying to write it down earlier today, but I don't.
Is it related to this
remember.
image I have?
Oh, yeah. All right. So if you can please, Corey, if you can see our screen on YouTube channel, I'm going to post a
all right.
picture. I need Matt to take a look at it too. I need everyone to take a look at it, to be honest.
I hope
Because
this
I wanted
is visible. Oh no.
I want to talk
Hold on.
about something that
Everybody to hold on. No way it's still broken. Okay, hold on. Technical
Hey,
difficulties, don't mind
If
me.
you're watching us live and you want to get
Thank
some
you,
unfinished
Matt.
business merch, we have merch available. We have hoodies, t-shirts, hats, toboggans,
Stop
all
calling
that
it that,
stuff. We got our
We're not selling wooden sleds, okay? We're selling beanies.
We might be.
we might be our Parked for Par on the back and our Unfinished Business logo on the front. They're pretty nice, pretty comfy, and as cheap as we could make them while still having some quality product. So check it out. Link is in the bio of this episode, or if you're watching live, it's also in the bio of this episode as well. So you can click in.
You know,
that.
last week I asked a bunch of my younger coworkers, who are also Gen Z,
How
you
young
ever
are we
hear a
talking here?
beanie referred to as a toboggan? And they said, no. Who's the
Whoa,
idiot?
whoa,
that's
whoa, 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 whoa! I never said it was a Gen Z action to refer
It
to it
had
as
to
a
have been.
That's
dog.
true. We
No, I
decided that
never-
this was regional.
This is regional. This has never been Gen Z.
Taylor, I didn't know this was going to be that difficult.
No,
I'm
it's
really
me.
sorry.
It's me. I'm an idiot. Gosh
But
dang it, man. I'll get there one day. We're officially here.
Okay, all right.
Apologies.
So
We
take a
can
look.
edit this with AI.
I am.
Oh, there we go.
All right,
Okay.
I am not putting
Okay.
Cory on blast, but this is a close up of Cory's grip in one of his latest videos.
too.
Okay,
Yeah.
I want to know, what is your forehand grip, and what do you think of that forehand grip? And and then I'll explain afterwards. I'm just curious. Does you throw your forehand grip like that?
Mhm.
Anyways, Taylor, how do you grip yours? Do you grip yours like that?
So I will say things about Cory's grip that I like. This is now a grip critique live on air. I think that the ring / pinky on the other side of the disc is an elite maneuver. It made my forehand so much better when I did this. I do think the only qualm I have is that your middle finger, at least in this grainy image, appears to be a bit flatter to the flight plate than I have mine, where mine's much more like aggressively kind of into the rim. But that's all I got. Otherwise, I
That
think-
picture doesn't look like that grip.
Yeah,
though.
Corey, these are different.
That's
these are different.
this.
Okay, yeah, Corey, I say that I grip the disc like this and pinch down when I throw, but when the time comes to throw, I probably do this. You may have thinking that you're doing that and then make a little subtle shift, because to me, what you're currently doing is exactly how I do it. Middle finger is pushing into the rim. Pinky finger is pressed above the middle finger like this. In the clip, it appears that your fingers have shifted a little more towards facing the top.
But it hasn't. It's literally right here.
I would
Yeah,
say
but
I
when
do
you
this. I used to
throw,
do
it
the
makes
Paul
a
Macbeth
difference.
though. I used to do this.
Yeah, that makes my finger hurt really bad.
This is
The
me.
power grip. There's Tyler Tulowitzki.
Okay.
Everybody hold your
Tyler,
grip
I
up if you can.
guarantee you, if you filmed a shot in the same angle and we zoomed in to 480 potato, you'd be able to also see that your hand looks like it's facing up.
Corey also, yeah, Corey does.
So,
have a
do
little
when you
ball.
forehand grip, do you forehand with the pads of your fingers up, or are they like more into the rim of the disc?
I have never had it to where they were touching the top.
Okay.
Okay.
And
So
that-
you're
I know that's what that
trying-
looks like
So you're trying
when
to press into the rim.
into that corner,
Okay. You're trying
is
to press
where-
into the rim.
which is where the pad of my finger is.
See, I
But
don't
look
press
at
in,
look at how
I don't
up and
press
down
into the
that looks.
corner. I
Bro, this
press
feels
like
kinda
into
nice.
the
I'm about to go
rim.
back to the P McB special. About to go back.
Corey,
It's gotta
this
go,
make,
bro.
or I mean Taylor, this makes this finger hurt so bad, but my discs come out way snappier. But literally, like I throw
Feels
3
nice.
shots and I can't throw.
Don't worry,
So
I finally
Corey-
fixed my forehand over the past 2 years. Time to change the grip. Time
Do
to
you
mess with
press
it.
into the crease or do you press
Yes.
into the rim? See, that's where it could shift up because you're pressing into the crease. I press into the rim. Like I
also
try to
press into-
focus on pressing into like
I hard
the inside or here. Like it's better to show it like this part of the disc,
Mhm.
not the corner. Anyways,
Audio listeners, go hold a disc right now.
yeah,
beforehand.
yeah. Listen, I just want to preface this and say this. I took that picture and I sent it to Cory in a text, and I don't remember what I exactly said, but it was something very subtle, and I wasn't trying to be mean. I was just trying to. I think I might have said, "Explain this to me." This grip is what I asked him to do, and then that was it. I didn't say there was anything wrong with it, and then he came back and told me that he doesn't like me anymore because now I had him thinking about his forehand grip more than he ever wanted to. So I then looked up.
No.
Hold on. I
No,
then looked
you
up.
shut your mouth.
No.
Okay? You
Hold
shut
on.
your mouth.
Hold on. I looked up. Listen, I looked up Sexton's forehand grip tutorial, which is like 2.5 minutes. I'll put it in our Discord so everyone can see
Yeah.
it.
Hey,
And
join
he-
our Discord.
Oh man.
And he explained there's really no correct way to actually grip your disc for a forehand shot. He went over all the different variations that you can do. One of the ones he said is pad straight up. Cory's saying he doesn't do that though, and I'm not saying that he does do that, but it definitely
Sexton's
looked
grip's
like
kinda weird.
It definitely looks like in this picture that his pads were straight up. So the
Okay,
reason why I was
Does it
asking,
also-
go ahead.
shut your mouth, Tyler.
He's trying to get one concise thought.
No, is it also the fact that that's an era and it's a domey disc? Do you
Say
think
that again?
It's
That's
an
an
era
interesting.
and it's a domey disc.
Yeah.
So
Shout out.
does it give that kind of like portrayal
Well,
because
because you
my-
press into the corner of the disc, then I can see how that could be a problem.
what do you mean a problem?
Well, I
No,
can
Scott,
see
that's
how
the preferred method to hold forehand and backhand the exact same way. I think.
His consistency across the.
I'm saying
Yeah.
if you're aiming
Yeah.
for
I throw my forehands like this.
You're not watching our video. You're cooked for this, but
listen, this
Hey,
was
this
supposed
is
to-
the reason we're in the top 20% of video podcasts on
That's right.
Spotify, right? With these people are
That is
locked into the video on their commute.
This isn't a put a Cory on blast or being
No, the
too-
reason I had that whole like I can't stop thinking about this is because I constantly hear, oh, air bounce, air bounce, air bounce, even though I throw farther than the majority of all my friends.
Got him.
I hear
Tell 'em.
wobble all the time.
I've
Granted,
never
a lot of times
never
it's from,
said anything about the wobble.
it's from
it's
Broad.
from me.
And
That
from Broad
that is a
and-
very sensitive like thing to say to somebody.
So
I
I'm
would
like,
never.
so I'm like, okay, is it? Well, then I was talking to Blitz about it.
Name
Because
dropping
he
now.
also
Keep going.
because he also has some wobble, and so we were talking about like how to fix that, how to hold it, and everything. And I sent him a clip of me throwing forehand with the Era, no wobble at all. It just
Mm.
happens to be Broad's stupid Metal Flake Ultra
Mm.
is a wobble magnet because it's probably
Yeah.
so gummy and stupid. Anyway,
It is
now you're telling me that I hold my disc weird.
Cory's
So
crashing out.
all three of those, I'm gonna go jump off a bridge.
No, all right.
There's
So
a
I
good one
feel
in
like
Louisville to jump off of.
I know I passed it already.
okay. I feel like I now have to. Okay, so this is what I said. I sent Cory this picture and I said, "Interesting," and he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I have the pads on my fingers facing forward, not up." And he says, "It's more in the corner crack that than it looks." Or something he's supposed to say, "Than it looks when I'm holding it." And then I told him, "I'm not saying there's anything wrong. I'm just noticing the grip." And then it just kind of got left like that. And then he came back like a couple hours later, an hour or so later, and said, "I don't like you." And then he said, "You got me thinking about my forehand." But no, the reason why, listen,
I did not say I don't like you.
no, he did not say that. He said something else. But no, anyways, it just I was just thought it'd be funny to bring up tonight just because everyone forehand is so unique. Like people grip it so many different ways. People do forehand motion with their legs, different like sexton hops. Some people like do different things. So I just wanted to bring that up so I could just mind screw everybody on how they hold their forehand disc.
Because really,
Oh,
think
you're not
about
going to
that
change
for a little
this
bit.
ever.
No, and that's totally
I've done
fine.
all of them. I've done all of them, and the most convenient and easy to throw would be in the crack.
I
And I
think
know
if
that
you
it-
get more wrist snap, I think you eliminate the wobble.
In the crack.
He just
Now
likes
from
finger in the
this
crack.
angle, yeah, it might look like it's straight up, but it's not. It's just maybe I have weird fingers. I don't know.
This is super funny because I was just looking.
I
at
don't care if it's straight up though. I don't.
I was just looking at a video of Cory throwing his forehand and noticing he really does not have wobble in his forehand unless he is just ripping it as hard as possible or close to as hard as
Yeah.
possible. Which
Is it a common theme
probably-
that people are watching Cory's video and just really analyzing how he throws a disc?
No,
Uh,
no. It's only because it's only because
Mac,
No.
I have had the same exact thought. I've had the same exact thought, Mac. But
Hold on, we have to say what he said, Matt, because
I-
if people
yeah,
are
my
listening. It says,
Matt
"I
said-
haven't had the heart to tell Cory that his torque flies less stable than mine on forehand because his forehands wobble."
That's why Tyler's is less stable too. Just kidding.
Well, it's just weird that
Just kidding.
I can throw my torque forehand like twice as far as Mac.
Oh my gosh! Now we're blasted.
But
Well,
it must.
you're
But
gonna
it must be because of the wobble, right?
Yeah, well, it literally will be because of the wobble.
It
Because
generates more speed.
it'll make it turn and then come back. Versus a wobble-less forehand will make it go straight and then finish. Because a wobble-less should have more spin, and then you don't have as
Yeah,
much.
but that has
off-balance
nothing to
force
do with distance. Distance is speed, power.
and spin rate.
I would
You're-
argue that a disc that works
It's a full flight.
a full flight more than like
Okay,
a
my
one-angle shot
question.
goes for.
My question is.
We got to get Cory and Mac out in a field and 2 tours.
Wait,
Oh,
guys,
I
we
can
can solve this. in
No, my
30
question
seconds. We
is,
can solve this in 30 seconds.
if I can forehand this with no wobble, then obviously it has something to do with
Your wrist. You have a good wrist snap
the
on
amount of
your
power
short
that I'm
ones.
putting on a forehand that I'm trying to really go for, which is why I'm throwing the Hellfire now, because it could literally withstand anything.
The reason why I caught that picture is because, again, to
You
make things
love me.
yes, but to make things funny, I'd watch Corey's video or parts of Corey's video in halftime, so I could hear slow motion, so I could laugh. And I just so happened during that
That's
shot
the
was
weirdest thing. You should keep that to yourself.
I do it with Taylor's video too. Like I'll be like,
in a
bubble
man.
bath.
no, I'm just like, if I watch
Draw a
this
glass
in, like,
of wine, sit in the back. Watch
if I watch this in halftime,
speed.
if I watch this in halftime, how funny would it be? And so, anyways, I was watching yours in halftime, and I just saw your hand because it was out in the camera for a long time, and I was like, wait a second, are you palm? Are you
Enhance?
badged
Enhance?
up?
But the thing is that forehand that you paused it on,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure had no wobble, and it was like, if it didn't hit
And it
that
was a
tree, it was going to be the
480-foot piss missile, bro. The thing was sent.
dude.
Hey, Cory,
if it didn't hit that tree, it would be the farthest forehand I would have ever done.
I just threw that in the live data analytics. Just threw that in the tech disk simulator. More wobble equals more distance according to tech disk, assuming your disc
Really?
doesn't roll over.
Okay, well then I'm really good
He
at
just
disc
throws
golf.
really far.
Yeah. Should we move
I'm
on?
really good at disc golf. I
Hey,
don't know
we got
what you
a
wanna
game to
say.
play, and Matt's
Yeah,
got 6
yeah.
minutes with us. So
You're good. I got a little extra time because
trying
Also,
to shift it up.
Mac has some things to say about tech disc, so
Ooh, fraudulent.
Mac not
leave
wrong.
that in the
data.
Discord.
Fraudulent
All right.
data.
Taylor's House of Horrors. Let's get it.
All right, who wants to go first?
Hold on. We have like 5 seconds.
Mac.
Oh, I thought he had
tech-
something you wanted to say, but he's just out of here.
Mac,
Shout
tech
out to
disc
Mac
is
for buying a
people, like-
hoodie.
Yeah, thank you, Mac. Tech disk has changed my life, Mac. Through my
We needed a DPP.
I have now beaten with a standstill my farthest ever throw with a full run up, 5-step
far?
run up. Isn't it tech disc? So I don't know. 46.7 miles an hour, so still slow. But that went from as hard as possible throwing a full run up versus
What did
a
you
slow.
say?
He said,
I thought you
"Gas."
said distance.
Oh no, I shouldn't have said distance if I did. Speed,
Oh.
spin.
Oh,
That's what I
okay.
thought too. That's why I was confused. It's like
I was
I threw
like,
my
how far?
farthest
You're
throw
like
ever. It's like, I
42
don't know how
miles an
far
hour.
it went.
You
How
can't
far?
calculate how
Speed.
far that is.
The
I
math.
definitely can, but I can put it in and find out. But I can send it. My hardest throw was a full run up, throwing my heart out 46 miles an hour, and now I can stand still,
Alright.
throw that same distance.
Let's get this.
I'm
thing.
done with
Come
that,
on.
but I'll argue with you about that, Mac. We never argue about anything, so.
All right,
we
so
start talking about distance in miles per hour and not or feet per second.
All right, we got a game this week, backed by popular demand. Last week, we did the top 10 UDisc courses worldwide in 2024. Now we're getting regional. We're getting specific to some states, and we're testing our panelists' knowledge. So we have Matt pulled up first for Maryland. We've got the top 5 courses in Maryland for 2024. Matt's got 3 attempts to get these nailed down, to get these right.
Okay, let's make it quick. Turkey Hill is number 1. I think. For those watching, it's Millbrook Disc Golf Course, Ditto Farms, Lexington Manor, Turkey Hill, and Seneca Creek State Park. I have only played one of the 5 because they're all on the East Coast.
Millbrook is by where I live.
Ditto Farms is 3, I believe. It's either 3 or 4, but we'll run it at 3. Seneca Creek is at... Let's put Seneca Creek at 5. 5.
How could you see the names of the courses on there?
I made it big screen for myself.
Wow.
I can increase this too. I can enhance. Sorry.
Yeah, that would be goated. Seneca Creek is going at 5. Let's put Lexington Manor at 4, and let's put Millbrook at 2. I don't
I've
think
played it.
that's accurate.
I've played as Seneca. I just didn't put it on UDisc.
All right, a solid first pass. Frick did my thing go away to highlight this. It did.
Oh no.
Okay, hold on. We're good. We just had to de-enhance one time. So we got this. We got this. We got this. Yeah, so I think your attempt 2 might go a little bit better here.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that was a pretty good starting.
Yeah,
so
solid first round.
I got
Solid
3 of
first
5.
round.
If you mess this one up, Matt.
Yes, I wonder where this is gonna go.
I've only played Ditto Farms, but yeah, there's a lot of pretty decent courses here. Okay, so obviously Lexington Manor and Seneca Creek are going to swap spots.
Good job, Matt.
Good job. Let's go. 2 attempts.
They all go red.
Current world record holder is at 2 attempts. So hard line to beat.
Wow.
Our rest of our panelists are
I'm
going to have to go
submit
clean
this
on
to
run 1.
I'm going to submit this to world record. Top 5 courses not looking at the list of disc golf within your state.
I can't believe Millbrook is 2. Wow.
You just have nice courses in your area.
No, wait till you go, Matt. If you ever play Millbrook, you'll be like, "This is 2 in the state." The T pads are garbage.
Oh, that stinks. I was hoping I was getting sent out to work that way so I could play some courses.
It's the only course in that county, kind of ish. There's another course out there named Scarborough that's really good, better than that course.
Nate?
What?
Nate Scarborough?
No.
Sorry, that was from Longest Yard.
Yeah, I know.
All right, next up we got Tyler and Delaware.
Oh boy. All right, let's see what we got. What are the courses?
We got Bellevue, Brandywine, Iron Hill, Killins, Pond State Park, and Beaver Branch Disc Golf Course.
Okay, Beaver Branch shouldn't count, but we're gonna run it, right? All right. Iron Hill is going to be 1.
Seems like a solid start.
Bellevue 2, Beaver Branch 3, Brandywine 4, Killins Pond 5.
I hate to tell everybody, we've got a very similar situation here.
Oh my god.
Man, which ones did I get mixed up?
So we got this.
Oh, it was Bellevue and Beaver, wasn't it?
So yeah,
Yeah.
the 2 and the 3 spot for Tyler are switched. So
I couldn't remember if Bellevue and Beaver were. Anyways,
Oh, this sucks.
Corey's got a lot of pressure now. Got a lot of
Corey must
pressure
get
on this
really-
run.
so I want to make a comment about those rankings, though, real quick. If we go back
Absolutely.
to Delaware. Okay.
I'm frantically Googling right now.
So Iron Hill obviously is really good. Beaver Branch is a private course that almost no one ever gets a chance to go play at. So I haven't even played there. Bellevue is a little park course around an old racing track. It's not even that great of a course. Brandywine is like wide open, kind of a nice course. It's different. It's very hilly. Killins Pond, I hear, is pretty cool. But there's one course on that list that I need to shout out if anyone from Delaware is going to watch this. There's a course called Green Ridge. The course quality is not the best, and it's hard to maneuver and get around, but it is the best, hardest course in Delaware. I'll say that much. So anyways, I had to do that real quick. I had to do it justice.
No, it's funny. I was
Anyways.
talking to Mac about Alabama's top 5, and of course, by me is number 5. And I find it extraordinarily hard to believe that there are not better courses than that could take the 5 spot than the me. It is nice to have. It's a community that was very excited to have a disc golf course put in because the closest one to them beforehand was like 45 to an hour away, and I think that's why it's rated so well. But it is a park course. It is not a very hard park course.
Yeah. The rating of courses I'll never understand. I think just a lot of people get on UDisc and they just plaster a course that they all like.
What do you define a park course as?
Park course would be at a place where there's actually like playgrounds and stuff like that. And to me, a park course would be like a place where there's a bunch of random trees and the disc golf course is squished all together in this area.
I would say in my mind, a park course is like the in between of a wooded course and an open course. So like it's not quite super open because there are trees and there are lines to hit, but it's also not what I would call wooded. Like it's just a little bit of both. Like typically I describe it as an easier course as well, like something that the holes are pretty short, kind of newer player friendly, that kind of thing.
It's the place where it's just open enough that you're like, oh, I could throw a distance driver here if I needed to.
So Bellevue, Brandywine, and Killens Pond are all state parks. That too.
That's crazy.
Well, that's why I was asking, is because we have the metro parks have courses, but they are like top tier courses.
Yeah.
Like
I don't think
Toboggan
a park
is
course
in a
necessarily
metro
means the
park.
park course is bad. I just think it's kind of like, I think it
know,
kind of
but
gets shoehorned as in it's not wooded and it's not open. So like it's kind of an in between.
Park course is kind of like that course you play in Chicago. I would think of that as a park course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in a park area.
Because I know a lot of people.
The course we played first in Charlotte, I would describe as a park course. Like that's a pretty good example of a park course. A little on the wooded side for a park course, but there were definitely more open holes.
I agree.
Gosh dang, that was a fun course.
Love that place. I would go back and just play that course. I don't even know why the course was fun.
Also, there's another course in Delaware called Cape Henlopen, which is on the beach where you're literally playing on sand, and there's pine sand trees, beach trees everywhere. It's such a fun course. Underrated. Anyways.
All right, Corey, you ready to take the dub here and go first try?
I could try, or I can do what what Scott said and goose egg it.
Dude, Cory
One of the
is
two.
sneaky, so don't put him out.
Corey is a notable game winner, I'll say.
Yes,
this guy takes home some dubs.
Yep.
He's
Corey's got
already.
Myers, Broadway North, North Buff, Renegades Trail, Flip City Disc Golf Park, and Lake Arvesta Farms.
I've never heard Cory mention any of these places.
I don't know why, but I kind of want to go to Lake Arvesta Farms. Man. That sounds like a good place to play some disc golf, bro.
Okay.
Renegades Trail is where the Q Series was. There's two courses. Renegades Trail is the better one.
Flip City Disc Golf? Oh my god.
Flip City at one point was, I don't know if it was number 1 in the country, but it was top 3 in the country or something like that.
Flip City.
There's something crazy. I don't think any of these are in the UP. The UP, I've played the UP. There's not that many courses are really fun in the UP, but there's not that many. Lake Arvesta's on the west side, and
I'm guessing that means
really nice.
Upper Peninsula.
Yeah,
we don't say that down here. We say beanie.
All right, Cory, what's your guess here, brother?
No, if anybody would be a freak and say toboggan, it would be the UPers. I'm gonna say, shoot.
This is more pressure than I expected Cory to have.
I'm gonna say Flip City 1.
Okay.
Renegades Trail 2. Lake Arvesta 3. North Bluff 4 and Meyer 5.
Oh boy.
And I don't think any of those are right.
3 out of 5. Another 3 out of 5.
Are you kidding me?
So North Bluff.
We know our disc golf, boys. We know our disc golf.
I don't
North Bluff
know.
and Lake Arvesta were flipped. So this is 5.
Okay.
And then this is 2.
Good showing. Great showing, actually. Some would say.
Yeah, I knew Flip City was like top tier course. I haven't been there yet, but it sounds really fun. Renegades Trail I've played.
A little less variation. I wish UDisc would give the states the top 10 as well. So
now, if we did like 25-mile radius to where we live, I think that actually would be like pretty hard.
Yeah, because they're a lot smaller courses and 25 mile.
Yeah, 25 miles. We have to do 25 miles because Matt has like one course.
I don't know if I'd have a top 5 in that radius. I think
I would have like a bunch.
Tyler would
Cory would too.
I'm trying to think of what courses it would be though. It would be Cass, Northridge.
I could come.
Oh yeah, no, I could do a lot. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've got to be 25 miles from Toboggan. Not even.
W.
Oh wow. We've got.
That was the game. Everybody's tied.
What was the game?
Shout out.
What you got, Tyler? What are you saying here?
I was just saying in our chat. It just said tossing plastic just did. Flip City looked meh. Wow.
Wow.
How will Corey Kramer respond?
Was it his video or was it actually the course? Because I know the course doesn't look as good this time of year. And also, was it just the angles that he was throwing or like filming with? Because I know there's been times where
Get him.
Mac has filmed a hole that I've played, like it's literally down the street and I've played a dozen times. And I'm like, what course are you at?
Where is?
And he says
guy?
the name and I'm like, I've literally never seen it from that angle. So it could just be that. I don't know. I'm going to have to go play it.
Find out for yourself.
Yeah. Well,
Good game.
that was a good game, Taylor. That was fun. We'll have to figure out what we're gonna do next time. But
I can't believe we all
Don't
got it in 2
worry.
tries.
3 out of 5.
That was nuts.
Yeah, that actually is crazy.
It's because the angle is in the fairway, says Mac. So
Not used to that.
that's
perspective.
tough.
we have got to quickly get to our live stream off the recorded coverage so we can get a response to that. So, anyways, if you're
Tyler,
listening
get ready
to
to
us,
smack your microphone and bleep out.
oh, sorry,
I don't even know
got to do it one time. Got to do it one time, right? I didn't do it all night, so I had to do it at least once. And I'm trying not to speak so close and so loudly to my mic. So, if you're listening to us on Spotify, if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. You guys can also join our Discord. Go to one of our links in the bio somewhere and join our Discord. Our Discord has been popping off lately
Been having fun.
with discussions. So if you're watching this, please
Yeah, there's
come
only
join.
4 people in there, but it's
But we're
great
talking, bro. We're
conversation.
yapping.
Hundreds of messages. It's way too
Yeah.
many.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a ton of messages. So go check out our merch, do some of that stuff, and yeah, have a great night. See you later.
Bye, guys.